The Saint Roch worm, an ancient representation of the Guinea worm parasite. Hey there, today we're diving into a fascinating topic that mixes art, history, and health. We're going to explore the Guinea worm, an ancient parasite that's been around for centuries, and how it relates to the intriguing figure of Saint Roch. You may know Saint Roch as a patron saint of those suffering from diseases and epidemics, but did you know he's also linked to a worm-like figure in some art? Stick around as we unravel this connection and discover the stories behind these ancient representations. Let's start with a little background on the guinea worm. This parasite, scientifically known as Dracunculus medinensis, is a long, thin worm that can grow to be about 3 feet long. Yikes, right? The life cycle begins when someone drinks contaminated water containing tiny guinea worm larvae. Once inside the body, the larvae mature and eventually emerge through painful blisters after a year. Ouch! The symptoms can lead to intense pain, swelling, and even disability. Although eradicated in many places, the guinea worm disease still pops up in some parts of Africa. It's a pretty tough little parasite that has been causing havoc for hundreds of years, and understanding it helps us appreciate how art has captured its historical significance. Now, let's talk about Saint Roch. Born in the late 1300s in France, this fellow dedicated his life to caring for victims of the plague. As word spread about his miraculous healing powers, he became the patron saint for those suffering from diseases. He's often depicted in paintings and sculptures alongside an angel or with a dog that brought him bread while he was sick. His image conveys hope and compassion, reflecting the struggles of people during epidemics. When we look at art featuring Saint Roch, particularly from the Renaissance period, we often find a curious figura, worm-like creature. These depictions are thought to symbolize illness, suffering, and the idea of healing. The worm could represent not only the guinea worm, but also the broader concept of disease that plagued populations back then. Artists used this imagery to convey the idea that sickness and health are interconnected, highlighting the struggles people faced. There's something haunting yet beautiful about how these artists depicted human suffering with a worm by Saint Roch's side, emphasizing the hope that comes from healing. It's important to remember that during this time, people were often more familiar with the struggles of diseases, making these representations resonate deeply with their audiences. Throughout history, worms and parasites have often symbolized both decay and renewal. In many cultures, they've been linked to various myths and spiritual beliefs. The presence of a worm in Saint Roch's imagery speaks to an understanding of disease as a part of life, a reminder of human vulnerability. Worms in art often carry a dual message. While they represent illness, they can also signify transformation and growth through suffering. This idea reflects how health challenges can lead to a wider understanding of compassion and resilience, shaping communities' attitudes towards sickness and healing over time. Fast forward to today, and the guinea worm disease is on the verge of eradication. Thank goodness. Organizations like the Carter Center have been tirelessly working to wipe it out entirely. Understanding the historical representations of the guinea worm helps shed light on the ongoing challenges of public health today. It reminds us that art can tell stories of struggle and triumph regarding health. The next time you encounter imagery of Saint Roch or a worm, remember, it's more than just a painting. It's a powerful symbol of humanity's fight against disease and the hope that persists in overcoming it. In closing, the connection between Saint Roch and the guinea worm reveals much about how diseases have been viewed throughout history. It serves as a reminder of our ongoing battle with health challenges and the power of art to reflect our experiences. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time.